Hello everyone, I'm back again with a new segment and this is my very first bridal trial makeup. Her name is Kleia and she's actually getting married in September of this year. So if you want to see how I created this look for her, then keep on watching. I start by priming her face. I'm using the Porefessional from Benefit and I'm applying it basically on her T-zone area. Next, I'm spritzing her face with MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus to still have dewiness on her face. Then I'm moisturizing her lips with MAC Lip Conditioner. Starting with her brows, I'm priming it with NYX Profit Waterproof Eyebrow Primer and I'm going to fill it in using the Morphe 350 palette. I'm using those 3 brown shades in the palette. I like to start with the brows because for me it emphasizes the face already and gives me the idea as to what I would like to achieve for the face. And then, using Essence Make Me Brow Gel in shade 01 Blondie, I am just going to set the brows. And in here, I'm just cleaning up the area around the brows with a concealer that I will use on her later. Okay, going in on her eyes, to prime it, I'm using 24-hour Shadow Insurance from Too Faced. Then, with the Vanilla Matte shade in the upper left of the 350 palette, I'm just going to set the primer. Using the Tartlette in Bloom palette, I'm taking Smarty Pants in a blending brush and placing it on her entire lid. This is going to be the transition color. To deepen the crease, I am using the shade Jet Setter in Rebel. If there's a takeaway that I have learned in all the YouTube videos that I have watched and from school, that is blending is the key to everything. So I'm just taking my time and blending everything out. Now for her outer V, I'm using the shade Jet Setter and Leader. For the mobile lid, I'm using a concealer brush, spray with the MAC Fix Plus. I'm taking the shade Funny Girl. This glittery shadow is kind of hard to build up, so I will probably use a different product on the wedding day. For her brow bone, I am using the shade Flower Child. Another takeaway that I have learned so far is that it's better to start light and build up the colors than to start heavy and can figure out how to take it off. So here I am just building up the colors to intensify it. Now I'm tracing her upper lash with Tarte eyeliner pencil in shade Copper and buffing it out with a pencil brush. And then with a flat definer brush, I'm taking the shade Activist on the palette and I'm tracing the pencil liner and creating a wing while flicking upwards to create a very light smoky effect. Then I went in with a brown gel liner from Maybelline. I didn't trace the wing with the gel liner, but instead, I stopped where her eyes end. And I did more blending, of course. Now for her lashes, I'm using Essence Waterproof Mascara and I'm just putting one coat on it until I noticed that her lashes are really straight out, so I had to go back and forth on it just to make sure that it is curling and blending it together with the falsies. Popping in some falsies, I'm just using Ardell 110 Natural, but on her wedding day, I'm going to use some more dramatic falsies. Then I went back in with the gel liner to cover the lash bands and the glue as well. We are almost done with the eyes, almost. I'm now on her face. I'm using Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation in the shade R220 and Y235. I'm applying the product with a bigger concealer brush and buffing it out with a buffing brush from Morphe. And I'm just using a beauty blender to make sure that everything is well blended and that there's no brush stroke. Another important thing is concealer. Time to conceal those dark circles. Although she has no dark circles yet, it still looks refreshing to have a little brightness under the eye. I'm using Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade Medium to cover up. And then I'm going in with L'Oreal Magic Lumi to make her under eye a little brighter. Using the highlight shade from Kat Von D Contour Palette, I'm setting her under eye. And I'm just gonna set the entire face with RCMA translucent powder, and I'm using a pointer powder brush from Morphe. Now I'm just finishing off the eyes by copying the shades that I have used from the upper lid to the lower eyelid, and applying mascara on the lower lashes as well. On a small fan brush, I'm using Makeup Forever Star Powder as her highlighter. I'm brushing the product mainly on her cheekbones, and I started with the highlighter before contouring because that way I can blend out the highlighter even better and it will not appear too strong on the face. Now going in with the Kat Von D Contour Palette, I'm going to contour her face. She actually requested for me to slightly diminish the appearance of her jaw and make it look slimmer. Again, in here, blending is the key. Now for her blush, I'm using MAC blush in shade Margin, and I'm applying it on the apple of her cheeks. And just making sure that everything is well blended with the contour as well. Just doing a little nose contour in here. I'm still using the Kat Von D Contour Palette, and I'm blending it with a pencil brush. Now for lips, I'm using NYX Lip Pencil in shade Peekaboo Nude. And for her lipstick, I'm using shade C107 in the Makeup Forever lipstick palette. And finishing off with MAC Fix Plus and with a beauty blender, just to make sure that everything is well blended, of course. And then I'm just dusting lightly with star powder, her Cupid's bow, brow bone, and nose bridge. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe. Yeah, see you next Wednesday.